Google has agreed to pay a $7 million fine to settle a privacy lawsuit. It comes 3 years after Google admitted its Street View cars had inadvertently taken people's private data. Critics say the settlement is nothing more than a slap on the wrist since Google is raking in a revenue of $137 million a day. Samuel Burke joins us now with the details. Samuel, I think we can agree money-wise this isn't painful. I think this is about Street View. We always knew people had issues that people could see the cat in the windowsill or the license plate on their car, but it goes beyond that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and let me just walk you through how this happened on the Google Maps service. We all use that to get around places when we don't know where we're going, but it was really on that Street View level when you can see pictures of your house, pictures of your work, and it's these Google cars that were going around from 2008 to 2010 taking pictures, but also accessing Wi-Fi networks that were not password protected and collecting passwords, email addresses, and other sensitive information that we all have on those Wi-Fi networks. Now, they're not admitting wrongdoing, but they're settling for $7 million, like you said. But again, this all comes down to the fact that people had their Wi-Fi networks, just like the ones that you and I have in our house, without passwords.
You know, I don't think anybody actually thought about that or you know, realized that these cars were going around. Aside from the fact that I happen to have mine locked. I know you're thinking about that. What can consumers do? Is it just as simple as locking your Wi-Fi? How can they protect themselves against this kind of thing? After all, if Google did it, you know, somebody else could as well, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I have family in the outskirts of Arizona who said no one's around for hundreds of miles. Why should we lock our Wi-Fi? But these cars go everywhere, and it really is as simple as just making sure your Wi-Fi modem is password protected. Take out that instruction manual that came with your modem, or do what my parents did and call up your internet service provider, and they'll walk you through it. But if you're really paranoid, you can use something called VPN, Virtual Private Network Software. There are a lot of free options out there. Hotspot Shield is one of them, and I've published a link to that on Facebook.com/CNNWBT, our Facebook page. And what those VPN free software programs do is just give you an extra layer, an extra bubble of protection around if you're really concerned. But really, lock your modem with a password. That's the most basic thing that you can do.
Absolutely, especially since a lot of us bank online and do all sorts of stuff as well. Samuel, so this is about Street View. This happened. Google already said it's going to change. It has to do some things like education as part of this. But this isn't just about sort of protecting your house. This is the potential to affect Google in the future and other things that they're thinking about doing, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this particular case is about these street cars that go all around the world. But you know, this sets down a red line possibly. These 38 states are saying you can't do this, and this could affect more than just these map cars that go around the world. Maybe Google Glass. We're all going to be wearing those soon, Google Hopes, and are we going to be collecting data as we're walking around that's being sent to Google? So the states are starting to put down a red line of what Google can and cannot do.
And maybe a good flag for those of us out there who don't have everything protected. It's not just about cars going around. I mean, things are going to advance quickly here. We really need to think about how we're protecting our data and what we're sharing, perhaps. Those Google Glasses coming soon. There's a contest. I don't know if you entered it, Samuel, but we'll talk with you about that next time. Samuel Burke, thanks for joining us. Good stuff.
Nice to see you.
Interesting stuff to remember. I am particularly paranoid about this, so I'm glad that Samuel's posted all those links to help us figure out how to protect ourselves.